really excited to talk to you guys tonight about the 7 signs of a soulmate. What does that look like, that soulmate relationship? So yeah, let's jump in. So what is a soulmate? It's a big loaded question. I think we all have our different interpretations of what that means, or whether we believe in soulmates, that kind of thing as well. A soulmate relationship essentially is a relationship that feels really familiar to us. So it's someone maybe we've just met, but we feel like we've known them our whole lives. Kind of like an old friend or something is kind of the vibe you would get, even though maybe you've only just met them. It's kind of a kindred spirit. It's another soul that really just connects and vibes with our soul. And often there's, if you're very spiritually inclined, there's also the line of thought that a soulmate is someone that maybe has traveled with you in another life as well. And that's why they're so familiar. And that's why they're that kindred spirit, because maybe you've been lovers, or maybe you've been friends in another lifetime and you've reincarnated back together again. So soulmates are normally a more long-term relationship. I know people talk about twin flames as well a lot. Twin flames are often very intense, but they're often a bit more short-term, whereas soulmates are more have that longevity. And yeah, they just feel really familiar. That's kind of the key point I want to put out here. So what are the 7 signs that when you are with someone, they may be your soulmate? Again, this might differ person to person, but these are the ones that I've been like, that is on point, and that is exactly what I would be looking for in a soulmate. So the first one being that you do have this connection and you are just kind of drawn to each other. Not in a crazy magnetic, like obsessive love way, because often when we are feeling really love at first sight, or really just so into someone we just met, this can often be a trauma bond, as I've mentioned in previous videos. But the soulmate relationship, we have that same connection, but it builds gradually. It's not a crazy love at first sight love. It's a kind of love that over time, as we get to know this person more and more, and we get to connect and really grow with this person, it really evolves from there. It's really easy. Sign number 2 would be, it just flows. Like, it's not a relationship where you're putting in the work constantly and where you're maybe arguing a lot, or really needing to work on a lot of life lessons together. Usually when you're in a soulmate relationship, it just flows. Like, maybe this person you just ran into them one day and that's how you met them, and now they're just a part of your life. And then you look back at them and you go, how are you ever not a part of my life? Because it was just so easy with us. I think that's always a good sign in any relationship. If you're finding that it is easier than it is harder, there's always going to be arguments, there's always going to be fights, but if you've got a, say, 90-10 split where 90% of the time it just works and you guys are on the same page about a lot of things, that is a good place to be. The thing about my soulmate relationship was I wasn't searching for it, right? It just came to me. And I guess that comes back to being easy as well. So I wasn't seeking it out. I wasn't actively on any dating sites. I wasn't putting myself out there. I was entirely happy with where I was at. I was like, I'm happy being single. If I meet someone, they have to be really great and enhance my already fantastic life. So I wasn't out there searching. And I think that's when it fell into my lap. And often that can be a soulmate relationship, because we're not getting bogged down with those life lessons anymore, where we're really keen to get into a relationship right now or yesterday. And that means that we're getting into those relationships that maybe aren't as great for us. It's something that literally just falls into our lap, and we can go from there. And maybe someone says, hey, I want to introduce you to my friend, and it's as simple as that. It's just somehow you've been drawn together. And sometimes when we're just happy within ourselves as well, it's like these things do flow to us a lot easier. When it comes to manifestation, if we're putting out a vibration of lack and really wanting to manifest that, and having such a focus on what we don't have and what we're missing, often it'll be harder for us to actually find that. But when we are in a vibration of, you know what, I'm happy either way, often that's when it comes to us. It's a bit of a catch-22. You feel like you've known each other forever, right? So maybe you only just met, or maybe you've known each other 6 months, but you're just like you feel like you've been a friend of mine for years, and there's just that immediate connection or that immediate link that maybe you just don't get with other people. That's a real indicator of a soulmate relationship. You're both willing to work on yourselves. So doing the work in a relationship can be really hard, but when you're both willing to put in the effort and the energy because you want to make that relationship work because it is already so great, you're going to be met with so much more success than someone when it's one-sided and one person wants to work on things and the other person doesn't. Usually in a soulmate relationship, you'll both be willing and ready to put in the work. And maybe when you're both single, you already started that journey and you started putting in the work there. So when you got together, you didn't have as much to work through anymore. And that's why it was really easy and it flowed. Feeling really loved and secure, a soulmate relationship will make you feel really secure within yourself. Feeling that sense of trust and that sense of security, my soulmate relationship really just stood out from all the rest. All the rest, I was like, I don't know if this is going to go places or not. And I just wasn't sure. But with my soulmate relationship, there was just that sense of knowing that it felt right. Yeah. Knowing that I don't think he would ever cheat on me. Just knowing that trust was there, that trust had been built, and there was just that sense of security between us. And that really made it stand out from the pack. It's not your everyday relationship. Then being able to be vulnerable around this person as well. So when we can be vulnerable around someone and openly say, hey, look, this is what I'm really thinking and feeling deep down. This is what I'm really struggling with. This is something from my past that keeps coming up. And being able to be met with a partner who's open to that and will love us and give us that unconditional love we're looking for, even in those vulnerable spaces, that is an amazing soulmate relationship because they're allowing us to be vulnerable and they're giving us that love and compassion that we're looking for in that space, which really builds intimacy between the both of you. If you can both be people who put it all out on the table and give each other the chance to both look after each other in equal amounts, that's more likely to be your soulmate relationship because you're growing together, right? So another part of being in a soulmate relationship is growing together. So you both inspire each other in different ways. So maybe one of you is really great at health and fitness, right? And maybe the other one isn't so great at it, but they're willing to teach you and they're willing to show you the ropes and give you some tips and strategies and things like that. And you're constantly growing together as opposed to growing apart, because often we'll find that people end up clashing and then they'll grow apart from that, whatever the argument was or the clash was. But in a soulmate relationship, you're both trying to be the best version of yourselves and you're both open and willing to ask questions and be like, yes. And you want the best for your partner, really. And you're going to give them that advice or that support. Like my partner was like, go for that job, you could do it. And I didn't believe in myself yet. I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know if I can. And I did, and it was the best thing I ever did. And that was them helping me be the best version of myself, right? Finally, he loves me exactly as I am. So I don't know, some of you may have seen Bridget Jones. I think this is a bit of a Bridget Jones quote. They love you exactly as you are. You don't have to be this perfect, skinny, amazing looking model, right? They love you as you are, flaws and all. They don't love you as they wish you to be or that society tells you should be. So there's that sense of, I can be vulnerable with this person, or I can show my flaws here and still have them be loved and accepted by this person. You definitely want that supportive partner who is willing to understand that everyone is human and that everyone has flaws and that that's okay. And that you both have flaws and you're both growing together and working on them together. So there are my 7 signs to knowing that you're in a soulmate relationship. So I really want to know, guys, have you felt this before? Do you think you've been in a soulmate relationship before? And what did that look like to you? Was that different than your other relationships? How did you know? I would love to know in the comments. Please let me know. All right. Thanks so much, lovely ladies. I wish you all the best. Have a fantastic week, and I hope to see you soon.